In this video, I'll explore a bit more about what we do at SBC. I'll first cover the main areas of study before talking about the structure of the academic day, term and year. At SBC we cover the four main areas of theological study: biblical, doctrinal, historical and practical. There are introductory classes in first and second year in all these areas, which are then developed in the upper levels. Not all of the classes I'll mention here are taught every year, but I'll give you a broad overview of the classes that we teach. In biblical study, the classes listed here are our introductory classes, and they help you to get the most out of reading the Bible. They cover topics like biblical translation, how to interpret the Bible, and understanding the big story of Scripture. Our upper level modules focus on particular aspects of biblical studies and relate biblical studies to ethics and pastoral practice. In theology and ethics, the class listed here is our introductory class. We cover the big questions of life and their relation to doctrine. Why is there suffering? What do we do about the environment? How do we live a good life? Our upper level modules look more in depth, asking questions like who is God and what does that mean for the church? Again, these modules make the crossover between doctrine, ethics and practice. There are two introductory classes that cover aspects of church history. The first is a general overview of the historical developments that have created the church traditions we have today. The second is a more specific look at a particular tradition, Baptist in this case, that can be used to compare and contrast with whatever church background you have. Here you explore issues such as why churches have different approaches to baptism, communion and worship. Our upper level history class is another crossover class which looks at why the church in Scotland is shaped the way it is, and moves on to ask what are the implications this has for us today and in the future. As our degree programme is orientated around making theology relevant for life, we have a number of courses dedicated to both skill development and reflection on theological practice. We have modules that help hone public speaking, preaching and communication skills. There are classes that help with pastoral care and chaplaincy. Worship, leadership and discipleship classes allow you to think about different traditions and approaches to help equip you in your own practice. Our work-based learning modules are placement-based, allowing you to use experience to develop skills and reflect upon theology. If that's the content of what we teach, then it might be helpful if I outline a typical timetable. Typically our classes start at 10 o'clock in the morning and finish at 1:15 in the afternoon. Within this time we have our devotions, which we do as an act of worship. This is a time when we gather as a community to listen to Scripture and pray together. It's an important rhythm for our community. Classes run over 3 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. This leaves a longer weekend for reading, assignments, and as many of our students are involved in church work or other part-time work, some flexibility to organise your life around your studies. Our terms are 12 weeks long, with an autumn term and a spring term. Within the terms there are also 1 or 2 reading weeks. When you apply to SBC, we can give you more specific information on timetables if this will help your planning. All of these classes can be accessed full-time, part-time, or studied on an individual module level. And depending on what you're hoping to study, you might want more information on these classes. I realise this has been a really quick overview of all that we do, and so if you require more specific information on any of the classes, then please do get in contact.